Viewer discretion is advised.
So this is another week of Day After Dead. I'm FUNKNOWN here with J and Asadasa.
What up?
Hi.
So damn, that's a way to end the episode.
Well,
You think he's dead?
definitely not.
He at least got his hand blown off. Something.
Yeah, probably a shot in the shoulder or something.
That's what it looked like to me. Shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
But definitely fucked up, I guess, either way. But
Yeah.
definitely not dead.
That was crazy.
Oh man.
What'd you think about it? Like the shot itself?
What? Just the setup, or what specifically you're asking?
Like the way that it just kind of cut real awkward, like.
Oh, and then it cut to black, and then it was there for a second, and he said, "You'll be alright," or some shit.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just it was alright. I didn't see anything too out of the ordinary with it. Nothing I thought was too bad with it either.
Didn't bother you? Like it didn't look like it was poorly edited?
I mean, my situation. I watch it after the fact, recorded. So I don't know if my episodes cut off early. So I always start off with if it got cut off, but I can see why you would say that it's just abruptly, right? An abrupt ending.
Right. Like it feels like it was just like you said, if they didn't have the "you'll be all right" afterwards, I think most people would have taken it to be like, did something happen? Did it drop? Did
Yeah.
it cut off on the DVR or what? Like it just looked like there was more episode there, and I expect that it's kind of reminiscent of a problem that I had with when the first episode back in this season, with how like the last episode ended with like the kid saying "mom, mom," and then like it just kind of continued off from that, almost as if like you would have had a better mid-season finale if you just kind of continued on like you should have.
Yeah.
And I feel like this episode kind of similarly cut out just a little bit too quick, and it should have like a little bit needless extra drama added, because I don't think anyone really thinks Daryl's dead.
Yeah. I mean, I figure the reason why I don't think he's dead is just how a character like Daryl, they're not gonna just do him like that. Why, we're gonna come back and that's it? He's dead. He's on the ground. Dead.
Nah, I think that you'll come back, you'll just see he got shot in the arm. But
No,
I
no,
think
that's what I'm saying. That they wouldn't
Yeah.
do Daryl like that.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
So it just seems like cheap drama to like kind of let you maybe be a little worried next week. Although it literally seems like no one's. I haven't seen a single person that's like, "Oh man, is Daryl okay?" Like I think most people have.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not for sure.
I don't know.
Is it just blind faith why people don't say that, or
Well, it's just
know
I
what?
think personally because of his character.
it's
The
just too
caliber
big
of his.
to,
Yeah.
too big to do him like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like they've done, from my point of view, so much this season to make sure that no one dies quite yet, that I don't think they're killing anybody till next episode.
Oh, next episode, everybody's.
They're going down.
There's a lot of people dying.
Like they're stretching that shit out as much as they can just to make it like have that impact. I expect like there'll probably be like so many people getting killed next episode, but for right now, I don't see it happening right now.
Maggie have a miscarriage? Did Maggie have a miscarriage? Something's going on there. Poor Maggie.
Zombie baby, what?
Oh my god.
That'd be interesting.
Is this a call to fucking what was it, Dawn of the Dead? with the zombie baby?
Mm-hmm.
For Kai Pfeiffer? Damn. Trying to kill
That'd
my
be interesting.
family?
My family?
Coming at you from the inside.
Shit. So
Shit.
what we think? Just a miscarriage, or you think anything weird going on?
I think she's had, like, I guess it could be miscarriage, but
Yeah.
possibly.
Or just like typical pains.
How
or-
far along is it that she's supposed to be right now?
in the shower, I thought maybe we would have saw like a different angle to see that. Maybe if
Right.
she was a little belly, but nah, I don't think so. I mean, actually, wait, they went soon right after to get Carol, right? So I mean, it couldn't have been much further than a day or whatever they spent.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, like, how long since like she said like I'm pregnant? Like, how long is she supposed to be in general into her pregnancy? like a couple months, like it would be way too early for her to actually even have like. It's not really a question that she can be having like a premiere or anything, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I mean, she doesn't look like she's far into it, but you know that doesn't really necessarily mean anything one way or the other. So I just wasn't sure how far she's supposed to be.
Yeah, for sure. No, I don't know.
I mean, it's possible that it's a miscarriage or it's just, you know, pregnancy pains in general, cramps, whatever. But it seems like they go on miscarriage route.
Yeah.
So the cat's out of the bag, huh? Cat's out of the bag. Alexandria's been exposed.
Yep.
Alexandria's been exposed to the saviors.
It's been hyper exposed, man.
Yeah.
Like,
man,
what the fuck?
They even had a crew going there.
Right, a skeleton
had, like,
crew
5 people,
even.
right?
Yeah, on the truck.
Mm-hmm.
That was nuts with that scene with Carol. I'm like, she has to have a gun. And I bet you she has a gun in there. I never would have thought, though, that she had a Uzi or some kind of like SMG or something.
She reminded me of Vash, the Stampede.
I was just going to say that.
It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be this way. Shout out to Vash the Stampede, greatest character of all time.
I love that shit. Trigun.
Yes.
I think it was a little weird though that she spent time sewing a gun into her fucking coat with all this. I don't want to kill stuff. You know what I mean?
That's well, you know, I guess, you know, that's the sewing the glove, or if she just had it in her hand or whatever.
No, I think she was like they showed her sewing it into her sleeve or something in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, she was.
That's
sewing,
true.
sewing something.
So like she totally preemptively planned that. Like,
but that's genius though.
But it makes it all the more dumb that she left.
Yeah.
Like she knew that she was gonna get like attacked fairly soon because she planted it inside her goddamn jacket pocket. So like, why leave now? And then after all this stuff happens, even if she's bleeding, because they came to that area pretty quick, and you have Rick and crew kind of say like she wasn't very far, like they're pretty close to Alexandria.
Yeah.
Why didn't she go towards Alexandria to like warn them that they were coming?
I know. I thought the same thing. Why the hell wouldn't she just go backwards? You know?
Right.
Maybe
she goes off
took
into
the
the fucking field.
Maybe she took that guy's horse, and she's gonna head back to Alexandria and warn them.
She definitely has the horse.
She's the one who got that guy's horse, and that guy's really a savior. That guy's, well, maybe he's a savior, but you know.
Well, he had the spear, the same.
Well, the spear that the hilltop crew was making.
Yeah.
Right, but so did the saviors too. So.
Yeah, because they give him the weapons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I you know, my heart dropped for a split second there when they were walking in the field, and they see that one zombie walking.
Look like Carol.
I thought they were gonna do that moment again.
You know what? I wouldn't doubt that was actually Carol.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You know, like they put Carol walking out there just to mess with our heads, and then they cut it out. You know, of course, because it couldn't be Carol.
Well, in like the first edit.
Yeah. She had that same little hips.
It was definitely used as a ploy to, like, you know, to do what, you know.
Well, what do you think was the deal with that person then? Because they looked at her and they're like, she's only been dead for like most. And you had the dude that was there in the barn with his horse.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think was happening there? You think it was like a savior infight or like two separate groups fighting?
That's what I think. Probably savior thing, and then that what saviors went on the way back to Alexandria. It seemed like it was just a little offshoot from the road, right?
Mm-hmm. I think the group that was on the road was probably, you know, on the outskirts watching, you know, keeping an eye on that on what was going down at the farm.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case anything went awry, then they would, you know, send in the cavalry.
Or what if Dwayne? There's a third group, and Dwight, I mean, is part of it, and he shot Daryl as like an eye for an eye, not to kill him, just to pay him back, and then that group is not part of Negan's group.
It could be that. I was kind of thinking that too, because Dwight's tune kind of changed this week too, because last week after he killed Denise, he was basically saying that he wasn't aiming for her and he was aiming for Daryl. Yeah. So what happened between the week, or like not even a week at this point, like within the show reality, less than a day?
Mm-hmm.
Like what happened within that time frame for him all of a sudden not really want to kill Daryl, but just maybe wound him or whatever?
Because he got new orders from Negan. I want them alive. We need the Alexandrians alive because you just show them that maybe we want to talk. We lure them in, and then
No kill any before we get there.
boom.
Mm-hmm. It's true. It's possible. I feel like they've killed so many fucking saviors at this point, though, like to an outlandish degree, especially when they've had the odds absolutely against them. That like it's so surprising to me that like he's not at this point like, yo, kill him.
Yeah.
And the saviors aren't showing any fear of these Alexandrians either. They don't even almost care. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, give us all your stuff. That's what we're doing. Like, you know, I'm gonna tell you the deal again. Give us your stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Negan's a calculated mofo. That's why you don't stray from the bigger picture. When you got a plan in mind, no matter what happens, you gotta stay. You gotta trust the method. You gotta trust the formula. Trust the process.
So you think next episode he'll play any role or just like a cameo or not appear at all? Yeah.
Oh, so he's gotta play a role next episode for sure.
They've been making a pretty big deal out of like the fact, like, you know, like obviously we knew that he was going to show up in the last episode.
Yeah.
And you guys don't watch the trailers, but the trailers, like the next season previews, are pretty much all like, "Hey man, you're gonna see Negan next episode."
All right.
Like that's pretty much what they're all about. Like they don't really show anything else.
Wait, you said
like,
next season or next episode?
Next episode.
Okay.
But the trailers, like the preview.
No, that's right. I heard actually. I didn't. Well, do you watch The Talking Dead?
Yes.
Don't say it, but apparently Hardwick spoiled something on it.
Kind of, not really. So like,
Okay.
do you want to talk about that and go into like for like a minute the comic zone, and we can like let everyone know that that's what it is, because it's such a minor thing.
Let's draw the parallel right now. So we're gonna talk about the comics for the next few minutes. So
it had to have something to do with because Carl had a moment, and there was like an engraving on a gun.
Right.
And,
so like
he focused on I'd never seen that gun before, and there's no like, you know, there's no random, there are no random, you know, happenings. There has to be a reason why, you know. Carl looks at this gun, and there was some kind of an engraving on a gun.
Yeah, so the engraving on the gun is a bat with like barbed wire on it.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Yeah, and that's, I guess what happened is Carl picked that up off one of the saviors, or somehow along the way they picked up a gun, like kind of how Rick's been doing all season, whatever. Like he's just been stripping these dead bodies.
When they raided the cache.
True, definitely. So it could have just been something they took from that. But that's like a minor thing, because even in the previews they've shown that Negan has this bat. It's called Lucille, and it's a bat with barbed wire wrapped around it.
What is he?
So someone had engraved that.
Pretty much,
BB
King?
So they're going with, right?
What the hell?
So they've shown that already at this point. So like that's a little bit of a minor thing in comparison to the other thing that happened in Talking Dead. But like you saw him with the gun, and then maybe that was Negan's gun, or maybe that was just like, I don't know. Like I guess there's a couple of implications you can have in regards to like why someone would engrave a bat onto their gun. I don't know. Yeah. It's a little weird.
Does that look like maybe like a military? It looked like a standard issue military sidearm. I forgot what it is, but it looked like a marine, a marine sidearm. I forgot the make of the gun, but you know they're all given. It's the same gun. They're all given the same gun, a special sidearm that they all carry. You know, it's traditional, and it looked like that same exact gun. I'm not sure exactly what gun it is, but.
True.
Negan, similar model.
Yeah, similar model. Is Negan? He could possibly be military? That's why, you know, they're all following him. That's why, you know, he has the moxie to lead these men and to be believed in.
It could be. It's possible. I was thinking actually that maybe that was something that someone that's been on the other end of Lucille as kind of maybe engraved it as like a reminder on their own gun, and then they've kind of confiscated guns past that point. That was like my speculation, because maybe there was a situation where, say there were two people, the other person got beat to death with a bat, and then afterwards, like just because it was something that was so like burned into his memory because it was so like fucked up to watch, like he kind of like carved it into his own gun or whatever. Like, oh, I'm gonna shoot Negan with this gun or something. Like, I don't know. maybe along those lines. That's like the weird speculation I was having with that, because I don't really know why someone would have that carving on their gun, even if they were like a military, like unless that was supposed to be their emblem. It's like, you're in my crew now, carve this thing into the gun.
I'm thinking it's definitely Negan's gun, because look how Rick always carries the Colt Python.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know, that's gotta be
Maybe there's gonna be something where Negan comes back, kills Carl, gets the gun, and say he got his gun back.
Could be. Negan's jam is that bat. That's why the bat is a big deal. Like, it's like he really has a great deal of affection for the bat, and that's why he's named it and all this stuff. Like, he really enjoys using the bat. So it's possible that like maybe this is also, they're gonna add in that he has a gun that he also really likes, and this one's called Ricky or some shit. This one's the Ricardo. But I know that the bat in and of itself has a lot of significance for Negan.
Yeah.
But the other thing that they talked about in Talking Dead was there's another group. They're called the Kingdom, and they're dudes that are dressed in armor and walk around on horses and stuff, and they're basically like almost like a feudal type of territory.
Like this dude then.
Yeah,
the dude that you saw
encountered at the farm.
Yeah.
Right. So he brought it up because I guess someone asked a question. It was like, Kingdom? And then he starts talking a little bit about it, and like he talks a little about the leader and the pet that he has. So he has a pet tiger, and he looks like George Clinton.
George Clinton?
Yeah, that's why Chris Hart was like, I don't know what they're gonna do if that's what they kind of go, if that's the direction they go with, because I don't know how you're A, gonna have a fucking tiger, and B, how you're gonna have a dude that looks blatantly like George Clinton.
Like P-Funk George Clinton?
Yup.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
How about that, huh? Is Bootsy gonna be here? Bootsy?
Hey,
brother Bootsy.
You name the tiger that.
Oh shit.
A tiger.
Yeah. Shit gets weird. It's a very weird.
You think
weird thing.
we'll have a tiger on the show? Nah, right?
I wouldn't.
Hell, man. I mean, why not? I think, like, you know, I can't imagine who else that crew is supposed to be. Like, why else would you have these people that are blatantly Kingdom members and not have the Kingdom come up? You know, it seems like obviously an important thing. And, like, it makes sense because the world gets bigger, so it would make sense for you not just have Alexandria and Hilltop and Saviors. You also have this other crew, and the crew that's also pretty big. They're also pretty vital in terms of other stuff that are going to happen. So I would have to imagine that they're there. But maybe the tiger is, like, used very sparingly or something. I don't know.
Like a Far Cry Primal.
Hey, man, I wouldn't mind that. You know, like, I think, honestly, a tiger is probably an easier thing to use in comparison to, like when you figure CG and stuff like that. Like, I mean, the Kingdom wouldn't be showing up in every episode or anything like that, right? So, like, would it really be something you'd have to spend that much of a budget on?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like just like every so often, and like there's times when you see the Ezekiel and he doesn't have the tiger. It's not like the tiger is like, it's obviously his pet and it's like important to him and his character and whatnot, but it's not like at all times he's interacting with the tiger, you know? So I feel like
we're straying pretty far into unknown territories.
Yeah, so we'll see. But like that's the reason I bring it up, because
that's interesting. No, you got me fascinated. I'm like, why is this guy? Where do you get his armor from? From Negan or something? You know, I obviously
from the prison. Is he like a governor, an ex-governor, an escapee or something?
Yeah,
like
you know, what his deal was?
Is that Shane's twin brother? You know what I'm saying? Follow them all along.
So I think that's one of the interesting things too about them bringing it up in this episode was because maybe you were supposed to kind of consider that like, oh, Negan's gonna get dealt with next episode, and like they're setting up the next threat, which is gonna be this crew. Like, I don't know if that's what maybe they were intending.
Well, Jade, you watching it? Did you think that guy was? What did you think of that guy?
What guy?
The dude we're talking about with the armor. Did you think he was just a random dude? You thought he was part of the barn crew?
I thought he was part of the barn. What I thought was, I had no idea of the Kingdom. So I'm just thinking, you know, maybe there was like a little feud going down at the barn right there. Maybe Negan's crew was running up on them, trying to take what they got. You know what they do. That's what Negan's crew does. that crew, that the truck crew, they were on the street, just like I said before, they're just watching out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm just like, I'm taking it for face value. I'm trying not to delve too far into it because I just, you know, I leave that for later.
Yeah, because I mean, when I saw it, I wasn't even thinking anything with a new crew. But did anybody in the ground have any armor, actually? Because they saw the other dead bodies, right?
Nah,
now that I think about it.
Yeah, I didn't see anyone.
I didn't see anyone with armor, no.
That's why.
Because we got the episode up on the screen. I'm trying to see people that been mauled by a tiger. I want to see some mauls right now. Tiger paw going on.
That'd be ill. I would be down with that, to actually see like that little Easter egg in there so early.
Oh yeah.
But to me, it was more like when I saw that from my point of view and I saw the armor, I was like, oh shit, that could be a kingdom member. And then they were at war with saviors as well. So saviors were on the attack with them as well. So that's what I was kind of looking out for. And I was looking to see if I saw any other people with armor. And at the time, I really didn't kind of see any.
Yeah. You had that eye open for it then?
Yeah, I was looking for it. I really didn't see anyone. And it didn't look like there was too many actual, like, dead people around. So what I took it to be as is that guy killed that girl and maybe whatever people there were. Like, I'm imagining the timeline was they were going to Alexandria and originally they had a bigger crew. And then somewhere along the lines, they saw this kingdom dude split off, or maybe like a kingdom crew or whatever. And like they split off to go deal with them. And that's why it seemed like such a low amount of people were going to see Alexandria.
Yeah.
Because it seemed weird that there was only 5 people going to Alexandria, right? Like at this point, they fucked up like 50 dudes. You know?
But it could have been like he said. He had the information about Alexandria, about how the car looked. I mean, how they have the car set up on the outside of Alexandria. It could have been just like a recon mission.
But True. I mean, if they knew that information, then you figure probably they would have had that recon though. No?
Yeah, maybe they're on the way back from that. You know, you never know.
Well, it seemed like they were going towards. And by the way, let's take ourselves out of the comic corner, I guess, so that we can like put in something. So if people want to join back in, they can listen to it now, right?
Yeah. So we officially stopped talking about comics and anything with those, if you find those to be spoilers. So
yeah, we'll probably put it in the YouTube description or something. We'll call it the comic corner, or maybe we'll put like an ill drop or something, and like Jay will sing another song, and we'll put it in there, and you'll hear that.
Tentatively titled.
Maybe we'll just like flip a book, flip like pages of a book in front of the mic.
That's good. And then you can have like a reading rainbow, like something like that.
Or like ABC or NBC's The More You Know.
With their shooting star.
Ding 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 ding.
Perfect. There it is. That's the song done.
There's Daryl. Now I won't get mine. Daryl. I won't get it. You're not gonna get away with it. I don't like hearing Daryl talking like a normal voice. He's either got to be real low talking, drunk moonshine Daryl, or like Daryl getting mad.
But that's how he always sounds, though, right?
Nah, cause I really didn't like how Daryl executed that line when they were talking to the Hilltop crew. So if we kill these guys, you gonna hook us up? Like it did.
Yeah, that was real weird, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna hook us up? Like I feel like he didn't know. Like, are you gonna hook us up? Are you gonna hook us up? Like he just chose. Are you gonna hook us up? Like I didn't like that execution. I still love you though, Normie.
What if they bring? Was he Veritas or Aquitas in Boondock Saints? They should have brought his brother in it though.
I haven't seen that in a minute.
Veritas. I think he was Aquitas.
Mm-hmm.
But great movie. If you haven't seen it, you should go watch it
now. Well, in a few minutes.
Yeah.
Like another.
Pause this episode. Go watch it. Let's go. Look for our other podcast, Boondock Saints.
But isn't that like the second time Daryl got somebody got the drop on Daryl? We could see that Daryl's not right. He hasn't been right ever since they got to Alexandria. Mm-hmm. Him being caged in like a caged animal, man. He was like he said, he was always on the move, always on the run with Norm. He's like a nomad. Ever since he's been there, he hasn't been the same.
I feel like this one's a little bit more related to like his blind rage and like as Rosita kind of put it, like, man. That was also another fucking weird thing, actually. Like how quickly, like it was Rosita last week that told Daryl not to shoot him as he was running away, right?
She said, Daryl, no. And
she's like, don't do it. Yeah, but then, like, all this was just like, yo, let's fuck him up. I'm like,
yeah, man.
Just a quick ass turnaround. Like, yo, how many problems would have been resolved if you just dealt with it last week like you wanted to?
If they were good, right? If they were gonna go, it would have been in that moment and not now how they're doing it now. That's totally true. That is totally true.
How many problems are gonna arise because Morgan didn't let Rick gun down that Kingdom character now?
Mm.
You never know. He could have,
Well, it sounds, but from the conversation, maybe he's a good guy.
Oh, the Kingdom?
Yeah,
it's possible.
Or just your enemy is my enemy.
Oh yeah.
Could be something like that. Let's just call him like Armor Dude, because I don't want people.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Armor guy.
But Armor Dude could be one way or the other, I guess. Like to even bring that part actually up, because what did you think about that conversation with Morgan and Rick? Because we're in the middle of talking about like people kind of flip-flopping on certain things, like Rosita and had that quick turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
Like within that context, like I guess in general, what do you think about the Morgan and Rick conversation?
I thought it was, people. He reminded everybody who was like, "Damn it, Morgan! Like, where's your brain? Where's your mind?" Like, he reminded the people, what his thought process is. Everything's a circle. Everything happens. Everything's gonna move along the way it needs to move along. Everything happens for a reason. He didn't kill the wolf. The wolf didn't kill Denise. Then the wolf actually saved Denise. Then Denise was there to save Carl. It just reminds us who, like I said, like I always say, we have to be reminded of who these people are, and we have to give them a pulse again. We have to put our fingers to their wrists, and remember who they are, so that in times of where they might die, or in times where we just don't get shit, we think back and we remember why they do what they do. We remember the circle, the Haikido circle.
True. So let me ask two things that happened in that conversation, though, right? Mm-hmm. Originally, wasn't the fact that the wolves attacked Alexandria because Morgan let them live?
I don't.
Because that's how they found out.
Inevitable.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was more inevitable.
Yeah, I think the dude with the W, I mean the dude that Morgan saw again was just stumble upon, because didn't Morgan walked. He found himself in Alexandria, after they went to Alexandria,
No,
they showed up.
They brought him back. Daryl and Aaron brought him back to Alexandria.
Yeah, and then
but that's what I mean. After Rick was already in Alexandria.
Yeah, no, I don't think so, because also if anything, it was more when he did see that guy in Alexandria, one of the attacking wolves, he was like, "Oh, you live here?" It just so happened that he didn't like attack there because Morgan was there or anything.
Well, what was the timeline? It was after he left, he ran into that guy, and then he goes to Alexandria, and then Alexandria gets attacked, and then that guy happens to be there. Yeah. So I took that to be that after he had let him live, he kind of followed Morgan because he was going to fuck him up or whatever he was going to do, and then he comes across Alexandria, and then he kind of lets the rest of the wolf crew know, and then that's when they get the attack.
Nah, because that guy asked Morgan, "You live here?" Like, I didn't know. Basically saying like, "Oh, I didn't know you were gonna be here."
I guess you could take it that. For whatever reason, I took the "you live here" as like, this is where you live. Like, this is like the life you live. Like, and within the whole like wolf ethos of that's why you can't survive, because you aren't able to adapt, and chaos and all the other shit that they were about.
Yeah, I can see how that could be. I guess I would have to hear it again, how he said it then. Because how he said it matters,
You're saying he's like, "Oh, you live here? Like, I can't believe you live here." Mm-hmm. But I'm thinking it was more like, "You live here? I didn't know you live here. How about that?"
English, man. I mean, communication, it's a complicated thing.
That's true. The other thing is, even with that out of the way, right, the only reason that Denise was even in the situation she was in, though, was still because he let the wolf live and like stay in Alexandria. Mm-hmm. So because he had to call Denise to look at him, that's how she ended up getting in a hostage situation. And then they were fighting and all of that. So even then, it was still kind of Morgan's fault.
No, I hear that. Like, as he was saying that, I'm like, well, the dude put her in a terrible situation himself. because of Morgan, and then the dude saved her from the situation that she was put in.
Right. It's just like exactly, because I feel like those things kind of work against what he's trying to put out there.
Exactly.
You know, and it felt like very like hypocritical, where it's like, you know, you're not really telling the whole story. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, Rick, details, facts don't matter.
That's true. That's true. And then, hey, you know, he stole the protein bar. Let her know.
He had to get that off his chest, man. That's my girl too. Don't fuck with her. Let it
that
go.
was from Clear, right?
Clear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The peanut butter protein bar.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was cool though. I mean, all in all, I like their relationship though. You know.
It was good to see them get back on good terms, but like I think the aspect of, for whatever reason, because like it really hit Rick, I think like it was supposed to be so poignant for Rick, and you can kind of see on his face where he's like, because I think he ties it directly into like, if that didn't happen, Carl would be dead. But it's like, well, that's not really true, because Carl like still would have been able to have Denise around, and like she wouldn't have been put in danger. So like if you really think about it for more than 2 seconds, like what you're trying to get at in terms of like everything happening for a reason is not really true, because that whole thing could have been avoided. And in fact, maybe Carl would have actually been dead because you put her in danger by bringing her to interact with the wolf.
No, but you know what? It did happen. And since it did happen, that's why he's still alive.
It's true, but like if I was Rick in that situation, I'd kind of be like, but wait.
Like, you could have avoided this, damn you! Yeah, I get it.
It's like you know, like what? Like I would have taken him by the neck and be like, "Yo, mother, what?
You lucky, you lucky boy. You lucky. You gotta go find Nancy right now. Lucky."
So what do you think? You think he's gonna find Carol? You think it's gonna be a situation where Morgan and Carol come and save them, save the few that's left?
I don't think they'll.
Yo, you think they're gonna go on their own journey now?
Now Morgan's gonna have to, the way it's playing out with the whole circle of life thing. Morgan's gonna have to give his life in order for Carol to survive. Carol's gonna come riding up on the horse, and that's just the way. That's the way you know the end of Morgan's story is gonna be. It's gonna be his sacrifice in order for everybody else to live.
I can see that. I can definitely see that. I just feel like there's absolutely no saving him from this situation. Like, I feel like whatever's happening, like the lead up to Negan just won't end pleasantly. And I think that, like, at best, maybe they'll attempt to save them, but I think that, like, all that will do is just get them in harm's way. I feel like there's no way that they're really going to kind of get out of it, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely ending on a bad note.
Yeah. They might end up saving that Glen crew. You know, I don't know what's happening with them. They're separate in their own thing. But they're also on the other opposite side, so maybe not.
Well, west.
They went west, they went east, so not particularly feasible
opposite
for that to be the case. Yeah. I think more likely is
flanking. That... Whatever happened to the flank technique? Like, they're just rolling up together, like walking up together, holding hands, Rosita and Daryl.
Arguing.
You know,
just right out there in the opening, just yelling.
What the fuck, bro? Shit, what happened? All right, you know, like, you go that way, I'm gonna go this way.
You go that way, I go this way.
You know?
You go this way, I go that way.
You go that way, I go this way. Oh, you go that way, I go this way.
Rush Hour, great movie.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Stop humiliating yourself.
Wipe your face, man.
Oh, man, they have a Rush Hour show coming out. How about that?
Hell yeah, they do.
Huh?
Hell yeah, they do.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, I know it's going to be bad, but I'm going to watch the hell out of it.
Yep.
So Rush Hour 3 midnight opening, man. Hell yeah.
Wait, so they made a note that that Negan, where they encountered them last, was to the west, right? Which is where they were going, Daryl and them. But Carol met the Negan crew coming from the east. So you think that was a way to show that Negan's group is a lot larger?
Oh, definitely, yeah. I think so.
He's coming from all angles.
Everything's converging on to Alexandria now, bro. They're coming in numbers from all angles, bro.
They're dead. They're all dead.
Oh, man.
Everybody's dead.
Good thing we got a lot of bullets.
The show's ended in this season.
It's true. Last season. Series finale coming next week.
Shocker.
90-minute episode next week.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
It's
Which
gonna be
means
like a half hour.
30 minutes of
talking about-
commercials.
half hour talking, half hour commercials. 10 minutes of Negan introducing himself.
Yep.
5 minutes of Rosita getting her face smashed in.
You think
Rosita's
it's gonna be
dying.
Rosita?
Rosita's
I
dying.
think it's time for her to go. So then Big Red, the Orange Crush and
The Orange Crush.
and Black Stallion can get their love on. You know what I'm saying? You got to move that piece out the way.
That's true, but I mean, they're already doing it with the piece in the way, and like you kind of had the reaction shot from Rosita, where she was just kind of like,
right there in her
that was
in
harsh,
her little
man.
corner watching it.
Man.
like
Like, you know
motherfucker.
what? You stay. I'll go.
That was harsh, man.
I feel like if Negan's got to pick anyone off, it's got to be fucking Abraham, though, right? Like you don't really want this big fucking dude around. Like he's blatantly threatening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know
Like,
what'd
if
be
you're gonna-
crazy too? Now that I think about it, you have that military sidearm. You got the random dress blues that Abraham had on. Imagine
True.
that was Negan's stash that he found. And that was Negan's dress blues right there, and now Carl has his gun. He's like, "Look at you motherfuckers! You got all my shit. What the hell's going on here?"
Or maybe Abraham is Negan.
Oh shit. Rick Negan.
We're all Negan. And then they all look at the camera. We're all Negan.
You know, what do you think is going through their heads, though? Because they think Negan's dead. So they see these people. What do you
Do they,
think is going
though?
through?
Yeah, I don't
Do
know
you
if
think
know
they think
Negan's
he-
dead.
Well, because no, the guy said he was Negan. So I mean,
Yeah, but I mean,
they didn't discuss it at all. So
No, he said we're all Negan.
no.
Yeah.
But he said specific the Spanish dude
I'm
who they
Negan.
killed. Yeah, and then Rick shot him.
yeah,
And
but
now-
you would hope that at some point, like
Somebody would've told
Maggie
him.
and Carol would have said, like, "Oh, well, all the other people said that they were Negan too. Like, it's just a thing."
Yeah,
So it's one of those things that writing didn't.
you were just supposed to. This is
Just-
supposed to be a given, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, writers.
I mean, because he was expecting to get attacked. If Negan was dead, like, I mean, you cut off the head, you really wouldn't expect to get attacked. You know what I mean? Because who else is really leading that crew?
Dwight.
Possibly.
Oh God.
Maybe Dwight's Negan.
Twice
Yeah.
Negan.
I want to slap Dwight, man. I'm tired of his shit already, bro.
He just looks like a bad guy.
You know, he
Some
looks
people
like
just
a
look like
jerk.
bad people,
Yeah, like a dick. He looks like a real jerk. A real dickweed, man.
like Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz. Oh man, Trump gaining steam. Trump gaining ground.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
shit, you dating the podcast, man. Don't do it. Don't do
Oh
it.
my God, Sanders though, Bernie Sanders, he picked up some ground.
Now
Well, it
people
could be
gonna know
nebulous.
the day this was recorded. Don't do it.
But this is nebulous. So, you know, it's we
Supposed
got a
to be
window.
timeless.
What do you mean, man? We did
That's-
date it by
That's
watching
true.
the
No,
episodes.
that's dead true.
Come on, man.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, true.
This
That
motherfucker.
Inception,
that at me.
Inception drop. Dom.
The guy.
You know, Michonne's with them. That's true.
Yeah. Well,
What do you think? That little crew right there, Daryl, Glenn, Michonne. Any of those three die,
Oh my God.
that's a big deal. So that's why they probably put Rosita with them.
She's like when they send out the crew in Star Trek, you know, or like a Galaxy Quest, you know, like the crewman B,
The red shirt.
Galaxy Quest.
you know, like oh man, I'm crewman B, I'm going down. I gotta die.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
I feel like that's a big enough crew too, though, that they have to send a rescue crew out for.
Yeah.
Like they come back, they're like, "Oh shit, Glenn, Michonne, Daryl, Rosita. Fuck, we gotta go get him."
Let's go, mount up.
Yup. Which might leave Alexandria like super open.
Super.
Oh
open.
yeah, that
Because who the fuck do you have left in there at that point?
Super Carl
shit. They got Carl with Judas.
and Tobin.
They ain't got
Weird that
nothing there,
Tobin didn't go after Carol.
He
right?
got what he wanted. That's why. Hit it and quit it, bro. Now he's gonna move back on. Now he's gonna move on to the what's her name, man? The girl who does the armory. The girl who watches the armory.
Oh, the stock. She keeps the stock.
Yeah, man.
But he's gonna get Rosita.
Snack chick.
I mean, he did make a point to say that he to Carol in that one discussion how he's nothing like her. You know.
True, but you'd think that like if you actually cared about this person, you'd go out there. I don't know. Like offer at least to get turned down or something.
He's Negan.
He's already on the inside.
He got them all out of Alexandria.
That's what I was always planning.
He got a Mission Impossible face mask.
Oh shit. That'd be something. That'd be
Philip Seymour Hoffman. Yo, what happened to Jesus? He went home?
It's a good question. I was wondering where the hell he was too. I was actually wondering until they showed her this episode where the fuck Enid's been.
Yeah.
You haven't seen her in like 6 episodes, and all of a sudden she comes through bringing pickles. I'm like, all right.
Did she poison Maggie, bro? Is that what happened?
Oh no. She's part of Negan's group. She's Negan.
Poison pickles, bro. Poison pickles.
Poison pickles, bro.
Oh no.
Oh god.
She did tell Maggie they were old.
Oh man.
They weren't new pickles. They weren't fresh. She let her know.
Pickles are fresh though, really. What was it? What was it? Man.
That Wario?
No, you.
No, you.
The sound
you
make. The man.
You.
That was a nice melody you hit there.
You. Got what I need. Run, Kingdom Guy, run.
This guy. We tried to keep it to the comic corner. We tried.
No, because we're watching the episode up on the screen too as we go along.
But speaking of which, we're not seeing anyone with armor on, so
nobody.
Yeah, I really didn't see anyone.
Yeah.
I was looking explicitly for it just to see if I can like get a sense of what was happening. Because like when I watched it, I was like, oh, maybe this is setting something else up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I feel like it's a 90-minute episode, but I think it might be a little bit too much to have them kind of introduce that crew at this point. So I feel like that's something we'll probably see next season. But I guess we'll see.
Next season?
If there is one. I mean, we already said next week is the series finale.
Series finale.
Any
I mean, I think
anything else happened in this episode? Any other beats that we missed?
No. Really. This is kind of like the final lead up right here. The calm before the storm. Little reminders here and there, and get ready, bro.
You want to do a weapon of the week?
Let's do it.
All right. This is the part of the show where we're gonna try to keep it consistent. Maybe put it in the beginning of the episode. I don't know.
Almost like
every week.
Segment.
What happened?
Like a recurring segment.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see how it goes. We'll test it out. So thinking about a weapon of the week section where it's either we talk about you can pick between a weapon that you would have on you, and if it changes, then you can use that from week to week, or a weapon that you want to highlight that was that you think played a significant role in the episode.
All right, strategy, man. That's my weapon. Strategy, like I said before. Why are they just cruising up to Glenn? He's all tied up, and they're just rolling up, arguing. Who's gonna have the last bite of the last bite of the bag of Cheetos that they had, whatever they were doing, and why don't they flank? They could have flanked, like I said before. It's just so many things. Strategy. You gotta know the moment, know how to attack it. Don't let blind rage take over you, and be in the moment, but don't lose yourself.
I would say, just to talk a little bit about the weapon that you had, the strategy in specific, because I'm just rethinking that situation, right? Because at that point, Glenn and Michonne had already been captured, so like they already split off. So it was only 4, and then they split up, and there was 2. And then I think that at least Daryl and Rosita were kind of like somewhat stealthy. They didn't come in. They weren't really conversing. They just walked up, and then like they got captured real quick. I think more importantly is like unity. I think like sticking the fuck together. Like, you know, the situation is pretty dire right now. So like if there's only 4 of you, maybe don't split up. Maybe especially if you're.
I'm not saying to split up.
I'm saying don't.
I'm saying to flank, dude. Like,
I'm saying
you cover more ground
because then
instead of just you could concentrate your fire, but if you can concentrate your fire from different angles, you're covering more ground that way.
Right, but I'm saying
and if
the
you're
situation.
Walking straight together, if you're walking in straight together, you know, and the military, they teach you never to walk too close to the man next to you, so that if you're getting fired upon or if you're getting bombed, 2 men won't get killed with 1 shot.
Mm-hmm.
So now if you're walking straight directly, you know, you're walking right next to the next guy, what's gonna happen? 2 men get killed with 1 shot. Flank. I'm not saying split. I'm not saying to split up. I'm saying flank, man. Flank.
You ain't listening though, because I'm not saying split up either. That's what I'm saying. They shouldn't have split up. There were 4 of them, and then like Daryl got pissed off. He's like, I can't,
the
man.
Whole crew,
and then they fucking left. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, of course. You're right, bro. Yeah, I got you.
They shouldn't have split up in the first place.
In the first place. Oh, of course not. Oh,
that's what I'm saying. They should have had unity and some foresight in the first place to be like, yo, maybe we should kind of roll through deep and not like, we know that there's a crew out trying to actively kill us. We're actually right by one of the dead bodies. Like, this is where someone died pretty recently. Maybe we should stick together and not split up.
It would make sense.
Right.
You're right, brother.
So I think foresight.
Yeah, foresight. Good one. Good one.
You know, to go into that moment again, though, real quick. Daryl and Rosita leaving, and then Glenn going the other way with Michonne. Did you that moment strike you as odd that they separated? I mean, to me, it made sense because they both have their own, like, the 2 people with a family, I guess, and connections went back, and the 2 people that didn't, that had no ties, progressed on. You know,
did they go back though, or did they just go a different direction? Because I wasn't clear on what the hell they were doing.
It seemed like I took the impression that Glenn and Michonne were gonna.
Yeah, they were going back home.
Yeah,
because they ran up to that river, and then all of a sudden, like, they just got like, all you hear whistles and stuff, and I was like, oh well, all right.
Yeah, I thought that they were just gonna head on their way back, and then they stopped for a second to talk about it, and then
true.
Whistling.
But that makes it seem even dumber though, because it's like, well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you have families and stuff to worry about, but like, should you really leave 2 of your own there? You know, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough call because in Glenn's mind, in that moment, he's thinking it's a suicide mission that Daryl's going on. So he's like, do I put myself through this shit again, or do I handle this a little smarter?
Right, because there's no dumpsters in the woods, man.
Yeah,
ain't no dumpsters in the woods, bro.
Unless there are.
Unless there are, right?
Unless there are.
Like, yeah. Glenn's been going around. He's like, he realizes like that thing saved my life last time. So his weapon of the week was dumpsters. So he just goes around. He's pulling all the dumpsters from the local area. He's tossing them in woods. He's putting them like tops of buildings, on roofs. He's like, anywhere I could get got. He's like, I need to have
a dumpster
around here.
All right, you guys went the emotional, like the other meaning type of route. I'm gonna go with something physical. Carol's Uzi, or just any small weapon that has that packs that kind of firepower.
Carol's Vash arm,
because you can hide it like she did. You know, you can hide it within the seams. You can keep it concealed in places that maybe in the heat of moment they won't check. You know.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, with fucking precision too, dude. Like, she took out 3 dudes.
She was surgical with that shit.
She lit them up.
Surgical.
She fucking got him.
Oh man.
No bullet wasted. 1 dude survived. That was it. Like, everyone else was like knocked out at least.
The aimbot.
I thought like she had backup or something. Maybe she saw something out the corner of her eye. I was like, oh yeah, finally they got here. No, it was Carol.
Right? I thought like maybe Daryl got there.
Yeah,
like
man.
maybe the crew got there.
No, there was like east and west, whatever. But I thought maybe someone came.
Like, I would have thought that maybe Rick got there at that point or something.
Yeah, Rick and Morgan.
Yep, Carol's Vash arm. Good
one. I agree with that. You know, she even she goes in there. It's so weird, man, because she goes in there and she plays the lamb again. She gives the fake name. She starts doing all the crying stuff. But she's got the entire time her gun's there on the trigger. Like, I'm probably gonna have to fucking murder all of you.
Yep.
And she's got the cross, the rosary in one hand, like she's two people at once. You know, she's got the rosary in one hand and she's got the angel of death in the other.
Oh man,
sick.
I love when Rick's crew, like when Rick and Morgan catch up to her, and Rick's like, I'm proud of her. She's a force of nature.
That was a good one. Good line.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh please, let Dwight fucking get his next week. Oh God. Please God, if there's one thing I ask for next week is Dwight to get his.
So what do you think's gonna happen next week? Let's speculate a little bit about next week. Like, what do we think is going down? How do we think things are happening?
I think it'll play out exactly like we were saying with them four being locked down. I don't think Daryl's dead. I don't think anyone thinks right now Daryl's dead. Rick and Morgan, I don't know if they'll show Morgan. I don't know. Do you think they actually show Morgan? Anybody?
Yeah.
I think we'll see a little bit of Morgan. I feel like I wouldn't be shocked because you can't really leave the Carol thread hanging anymore, right? Like, I mean, that would be a shitty thing to carry into the next season, right?
I'm telling you, Carol got the horse. Where is she? Like, she's not a world-class sprinter or a long-distance runner. She got the horse.
She's bleeding too, so how the fuck did she get this far anyway?
Exactly. She's got legs, man, and they're not hers.
Plus, maybe Morgan sees her on the horse or something next week. I feel like they have to connect that, because otherwise, like, if that continues into the next season, that's a waste.
I can see them doing it though.
I could too, which is terrible because that would be a bad idea. That would be a real bad thing to do, but I could totally see it happening.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then next season preview is Carol riding on a horse.
Her hair's long, blowing in the wind. You know.
She stops on top of a mountain, a clipper, and then as the sun is rising.
You think they'll do one of those weird, like, post-credit clip things they've done for the last 2 seasons or whatever? Like the last one with Morgan, like, walking in the woods and stuff. Or like the one where they actually ran into Negan's crew in the beginning of the season?
That's a good question.
You think that might be how we see Carol?
I mean, probably. Unless it's either she's going to play a role in the conflict, or we're going to, like, it's going to be a snippet. Like that.
You know what I just thought of? They found Carol's rosary on the floor, right? You guys noticed that?
The dude picked it up, though.
The dude picked it up, but no, what I'm trying to say is, right before Carol smoked that group, they showed the rosary in one hand, and they didn't show it, but the gun was obviously in the other. So this is Carol's questioning right now. This is the duality of Carol's character. She's in a moment. She's at a crossroad. Who am I gonna be? Am I gonna be the person that was hyperventilating when she got captured? They showed the rosary. The rosary is symbolic and significant towards that. And in the other arm, obviously, again, she had the gun. And then after all that happened, she dropped the rosary and she said, "I can't be that person. I left and I learned what I needed to learn. I tried to escape. And my friends are in danger. I need to get back on what I got to do." She went, she got the horse, and she's on her way back right now. That's what I'm thinking.
It could be, but she should have gotten back by now, don't you think?
She should have got back by now?
Yeah. Because like we said earlier, like Rick, when he goes in there, they weren't that far from Alexandria. And she knows how to get back there. So like if she was on the horse, whatever, you think she would have kind of made it back there by now. And Rick already made it back to Alexandria too.
As in like made it back by like she's there right now as we're talking, I think.
Alexandria?
As we're talking right now, she's there. But
maybe she's there by the time Rick gets back and Morgan's still out, you think?
Maybe she came across a little Negan faction and she's like gaining intel on them. It could be any number of things.
I suppose that could be possible, but I think she isn't back in Alexandria because at the end of that episode, Rick and like Abraham were talking, and they were like waiting for them to come back any minute, and they didn't mention that she was back.
Yeah, no, I know, but maybe she could have had a sidetrack. Maybe she came across something else. You never know, but she's on her way back, man. She's on her way back, and she's got a horse too. A horse isn't as fast as a car.
If they were that close,
they got straight
though,
roads that lead back to Alexandria. She's got to ride through the fields.
True. I don't know, I guess it's possible. I just think that, like, honestly, her first thought, instead of walking to the fucking woods, should have been to walk back to Alexandria, even along the fucking road. Like, I mean, like, obviously she didn't know that she was going to run into a horse because they were walking for a while. Like, they showed Rick and Morgan walking and then did that cut into the sky and then they walked back down to kind of like indicate a passage of time. Yeah. So we're walking for a pretty fair amount of time. So, like, if she's walking out bleeding, like, I think she would have, like, if she really wanted to, like, actually help out the Alexandria crew, she would have been like, all right, so they were going to actually have people that were going to come into, like, quote unquote, talk to them and probably, like, start another fight. I think she would have, like,
Gladiator beelined it thing. Straight back.
Yeah, like, as soon as possible.
Maybe she's bandaging herself up. Maybe she met up with somebody that, you know, could help her bandage herself up.
Could be. I mean, how badly wounded could she be, even if she's bleeding? Because that dude only had a knife. I mean, she killed him. She shot him.
Yeah, I figure she probably... I mean, see, there's two ways I think. Because, like, she can either be very wounded, but I feel like they would have shown it in that episode. If she was, you know? But, I don't know. I just don't think... I don't think she's severely wounded.
Yeah. I think, like, they kind of indicate the opposite because, again, like, how far she gets, right, and just the situation in and of itself doesn't really lead itself to be something where she could be that wounded.
And she shot up the damn truck so bad that it was dead. So she killed 5 people like that and the truck.
Yeah, which is crazy, you know. Like, it's and like that. Like, she no aiming, no nothing. She just pulled out the aimbot, just fucking wet, and just blap. All of a sudden, 5 people were there, and only one of them was awake.
Yeah, and the angle they were at, it was the engine was facing away from her.
Yep.
So
and you had the 2 dudes, and like they were sitting in seats, and then you had the 3 in the back. Like, I mean, like they were all at different angles too, you know.
She, if the zombie apocalypse didn't happen, she was destined to be part of the assassination guild of Wanted. I'm telling you. Because she's like the dude. Whenever she gets tense, that's when time slows down for her.
Yeah.
You know.
She's the weapon of the week.
That's bullet time. Morgan Freeman.
She can curve bullets.
Morgan Freeman got. You forgot? Got.
That thing with the spike too. Why'd she take the of all the cars she has to take, she takes the one with the spikes on it that's supposed to be to like protect like Alexandria. That's why they kind of put it, you know. So she has to take a little bit of their defenses, and she'll take the one that's like easily identifiable.
Wasn't it like in between like a building? I mean, in between like a house or something, like right out of view.
They said something like that, but it was also in the street already. So like they put up a car barricade, and this one had spikes on it. So I guess zombies would walk into it, kind of impale themselves, and like whatever just level of defenses they have. I mean, at the end of the day, you just make some more spikes and you run them through a car. It's really not that hard, but like it's a little bit of a dick move, I guess, to take like one of the defenses. You could have taken one of the other cars.
Yeah.
They're available.
And they were leaving in the first place, let's be real.
It was a dick move, right?
True. That's true. It's true.
But I mean, she took out Negan's little crew that was coming from the east. So, I mean, it wasn't a total loss.
Well, what do you think would have happened if they made it to Alexandria? Because they were already prepared for a fight, so they probably would have fucked them up. It was only a crew of 5 people. So God, I think they see him coming, they fucking murder him real quick.
But they probably would have planned something sneaky because they knew the setup. So maybe, I mean, not to say Negan's group are bright individuals because they've proven to just be fucking bullet sponges or cannon fodder. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I think that's something worth talking about though, because honestly, at this point, like they fucking killed a lot of people from Negan's group, and like I said earlier, like they don't seem particularly worried about Alexandria, and also like it's really like I don't know, like if we're trying to build up a fear of Negan's group, should we really have killed like around 50 of them at this point? Like it just seems like it really weakens the threat of them, you know?
I mean, it can play 2 ways. That they're just they got dumb members, but they got them in they got them in droves, you know.
And those are the guys that they send out.
Or that that you know they're just dumb.
Right, because I mean, like, it really feels more like they're dumb, especially when you're in that situation with like last week when they had them like guns trained on them on the tracks,
Yeah,
and
they're
then
just
all of
dumb.
a sudden, like, they just get easily distracted and then straight murdered, and then they run away. There's still 5 of them. There's only 4 of them. Like, I mean, like, I don't know. It a lot of the things they're doing, like, I guess to try to build up the Alexandria crew being very cocky and hubris, like to
Yeah,
kind
no,
of
for
build
sure.
up that. They've also kind of done Negan's crew a disservice because it makes them seem like, well, maybe they deserve to be because they're fucking them up so easily. Like in their sleep, they can be killing these dudes.
Rick's like on top of the world in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, and like actually even throughout, like he's kind of like has that very cocky attitude, like, you know, like we've been through this before, whatever. It's not a big deal. I can handle this.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna win this. Like even the conversation he has with Michonne, you know, it's like it's nothing to worry about. We're gonna wreck their shit. And you know, they don't have like you kind of as a viewer, you're kind of like, well, you shouldn't be so sure of that. But at the same time, like eventually once they start killing a lot of them, maybe you're like, maybe they will, you know, like I don't know, because they've killed so many.
We are that good.
Like it's possible, right? Like I mean, it's like I couldn't imagine them killing 50 other dudes, like of any, like if it doesn't speak to the competency of the saviors.
That's the G team. They still got A, B, C, D, E, F.
Shit, it must be, you know, 'cause they're wrecking them like at all opportunities they get, you know, like not even funny. And like it really ends up being like I'm really curious about what happens next week because they have to mention the fact that it's like you took out a facility, you took out like my crew that was over by the tracks, you took out my crew that was coming to like parlay with you. Like how many of my men did you kill? You know, like he can't be particularly happy about that, you know.
A death per group.
That would actually be interesting, right? Because the entire time
As
they've
he's
been
walking down
talking
the line.
about,
Yeah.
like we have to kill one of you. Like that's what we do. Is that's our MO? Is we kill one to like let you know we're serious, and then we want you to work for us. But at a certain point, like you've done so much damage to us, like we need to like really show you a lesson. So like let's take out a bunch of you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked, and I think that can be interesting. And I also feel like I wouldn't hate that either because you know the cast is a little bit bloated.
Would you what do you guys want them to go on the road again, or do you want them to lock down? What do you want, you know, just to jump ahead with speculation, what do you want the resolution to be at with this Negan group and clashing with Rick's group? Where do you want to see The Walking Dead go, the show?
It's a good question.
Before the season ends, you know? Or maybe actually that's a better question for next week. Yeah, let's save that for next week, actually. That's a good idea. We
Write it down, table that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually, I want to get into that. Think about it more.
Definitely. Once we see how things are, you know, you'll kind of have a sense, I think.
Yeah, true.
And would this crew have a chance if walkers were really runners?
Oh my god. Ooh. That is an excellent question.
Oh my god.
Oof. Crimson Heads?
What happened?
Crimson Heads?
Crimson Heads?
Resident Evil remake?
Oh, yeah, it flew over me.
Where were you, man? That was like a underhand pass to you. You're supposed to be there for me.
I'm sorry, bro. What was that? Resident Evil? What the
remake?
Yeah,
on the GameCube, they added in the Crimson Heads, and they run, and they have red heads, and they're like, they run at you to like fuck you up instead of walking and like shambling.
I mean, if we ever get Dawn of the Dead zombies or 28 Days Later zombies or World War Z zombies,
God,
I don't know.
Over.
Here's a question, right? Since we're talking about runners, like what happens if environmental effects actually had an effect on them? Like how many times, like, you know, years have passed at this point, right?
Yeah,
and
I was
they would
actually
decompose.
ask that question this week. I forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we see how they look. Sorry to cut you off, man. We see how they look in Fear the Walking Dead, right? They look like fresh. You know, they look pretty fresh. You know, fresh kills, fresh deaths.
And they they even like go out to say that they're hard to kill because they're freshly dead.
Yep. Yeah. And now you see them and they're all decomposed and, you know, decrepit. Is there like a timeline to how long these zombies could last?
Every thunderstorm, they lose a layer of flesh.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a question, right?
Maybe like is there like should they just like wait it out because the zombies are actually gonna die soon? The walkers are actually gonna just die off if they don't have any flesh to feed on. Will they just really die off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that like Is there a timeline right now going on that nobody really knows about?
Yeah, well,
That's the thing to think about, right? Because at this point, how much time has passed just from what we've seen, even because how much time did they spend in the prison? Like it was a pretty decent amount of time, right?
Yeah, I would figure it's been a few years now since.
Right, it must be. Carl's grown. Like Judith is a couple years. She isn't really an infant anymore at this point. So, like, I think it's safe to say some time has passed. So,
that's true. We can determine by Judith.
Right.
By Carl too, yeah.
So you would think that you can really tell that some time has passed, right? So it would be a good question.
It can't be no more than like 2.
10.
Mm-hmm.
She's malnourished, man. Get that girl a bite to eat.
Babies are different in the apocalypse these days.
Nowhere.
They like flesh now.
Well, so I guess that's a nice place to end it.
Mm-hmm.
What
flesh eating babies.
Flesh eating babies.
Flesh eating babies. That's the best way to end it.
Take that to bed with you tonight.
Nice.
When it's feeding time for your 6-month-old.
So without further ado, I'm FUNKNOWN. I was here with Jay and Asadasa. For my my Twitter, you can reach me at @UnknownIXI, and the IXI Club you can reach at IXI Club. You can also find us on YouTube /IXI Club.
And on iTunes.
And on iTunes, that's right.
You'll see us on iTunes and all of our other endeavors that we do.
Search. They can search for just IXI Club on iTunes or Day After Dead, right? It'll pop up.
Yep. Day After Dead, it'll pop right up. You can see us on there. We got a couple episodes up on there, pending some other ones as we get on there.
Nice.
And IXI Club, you'll find some of our other things we've done. You'll see.
Thank you for coming out. God bless. Good night. Happy Easter. This is JJJJJJJ.
Nice. This is Asadasa. You can find me on Twitter at ASADASA. And that's it. Thanks for watching and listening.
Stay woke.
Stay woke.